Hi, YouTube. Mary, I'm back. I was, I don't know, I was looking at some videos today because I spend most of my time in bed or either, walking on this little walking exercise machine. But it's been raining here in Dallas and the whole state of Texas. It's so much water. But I was watching this video from this girl, what's her name? Pam Talks. And man, excuse me, she's 57 years old. And she says she suffered from a low self-esteem all her life. And she thinks she's ugly and she's miserable from that. And she's not an ugly woman. I left a comment saying, that she wasn't ugly. She doesn't have a big nose or a mouth or a big chin, uh, and she has short hair. But all Pam needs to do is go somewhere and get a makeover. Invest that little time and money, and she would be so surprised at how beautiful she is. I used to suffer from that low self-esteem. Oh, most of my young life until I got married. The women in my family, my sister and my baby sister, even my brothers, they all had a different grade of hair. And back in the day, black people were hard on you and they measured you by how nappy your hair how nappy your hair was, or your skin tone. If you were real dark, you were ugly. If you had real nappy hair, you were ugly. But my oldest brother used to tease me a lot about how bald headed I was, and my hair just would not grow. But what black people didn't know, black women didn't know, you put a straightening comb on, you burning your child's hair out. For me, I would have been better if they left my hair alone, because as I got older, my hair really, really grew, and I got it twisted now because if I comb my hair, it comes out. So my hair doesn't need to be combed. I don't need to do anything to my hair. But low self-esteem, oh, it hurts so bad. I remember one time I was over my aunt's house and people used to pull at my sister's hair and just say how beautiful it was, and then when it came to me, they just looked and they would touch it and they would say, "Ooh, but her hair is soft. How come it won't grow?" And one lady, I think she was my cousin, she said to my mother, she said, "Aren't you glad she's not real black? If she was black with this short, nappy hair, she sure would be ugly." And I had to be about 8 or 9 years old. And that has stuck with me ever since. But, I guess the time has come when black people have learned to accept who they are. But, man, when you suffer from low self-esteem, it is really hard. And like I said, it didn't leave me in, I'm looking for some notes I wrote. It didn't leave me until I got married. And I don't know, I just thought love would cover all the ugly I thought I had. And then when people who I thought were beautiful and they were married, and I watched how their husbands did them, beat them and divorce them, and I say, but they're so pretty. Why would they do them that way? So my marriage ended up in divorce too, but I was married, God, how many years? I am over 40 years. But My self-esteem was, oh man, I was over that. But my ex, I tell you, he was a character. And I didn't divorce him because we were already separated for about 10 years, but I divorced him because I had to. He had some of the best health insurance, and but it was a thing with his retirement. He was gonna get over $300,000 for retirement, but he had this thing with drugs. We both had this drug issue, and instead of him going through with the company playing the rehab, a good company would give you that opportunity, but he didn't even want to rehab, so he just wanted that money to retire on. And I had the retirement papers, and I wasn't gonna sign it. I said, you don't need that kind of money. I had already went through my drug rehab, and I went through a self rehab. I didn't go to an institution or anything. But he was determined to retire and get all his money. And I would call the company he worked for every week to see had he filed for retirement. And they would always tell me, we cannot give you this information. This is private. You need to check with him. I said, but we're separated. She said, well, still, we can't tell you anything. So this really bothered me. And one day I was driving down a street and it doesn't have, the street doesn't have a lot of trees or anything, but I was I was eating some ice cream while I was driving, and this girl is said to be a friend, but she ended up stealing from me. But she was in the car, and I'm driving and eating my ice cream, just driving, and all of a sudden big splash of bird shit all in my face, all over my glasses, all over my ice cream, just bird shit. I had to pull over because I couldn't see. I said, what the? I was so mad. I said, this has never happened to me in my life. What's going on? And this girl looked, and she gave me some Kleenex. She said, girl, somebody finna mess over you. And I couldn't think of nobody else but my ex-husband. He's my husband at that time. I pondered and I pondered. And I said, I'm going to call. I'm not going to say the name of the company. I said, I'm going to call them again, even if they do tell me that they can't give me any information. The next day I called the company. And this girl named Lakeisha, she was a black girl. She answered the phone, blah, blah, blah. How may I help you? I told her my story. And she said, I could lose my job for telling you this, but your husband has already sent in the paperwork. Evidently, somebody forged your name, and his retirement check is already going to Prudential. The only way you can stop this is that you get a lawyer and you file for a divorce with an injunction. Have a nice day. Bye. She hung up the phone, and just all this information was coming from both directions. All I could say was, what in the world am I going to do? This man is going to cheat me. 40 years of marriage. He's going to take all this money and perhaps kill himself, get robbed, but that kind of money, and you have a drug habit, you will die. So I calmed myself down, and I said, I need a lawyer right away. I went thumbed through the yellow pages, and I don't know, my finger fell on this particular lawyer. I called him and told him my situation. He said, come in to my office today. He was an African lawyer. I got on the freeway. It was probably about a 20-minute drive. I went to his office, and he said, before he even do any paperwork, I mean, all the, the little bitty stuff. He said he was going to file a court order injunction to freeze this check that Prudential had. I said, really? He said, yeah, we got to put a stop payment on this. And he did that the same day. Now tell me, how many times can you find a lawyer in one day that could see you that day that you call them and they file an injunction the same day? It's nothing but a miracle. I mean, the universe working in my favor. So they filed this injunction. And boy, the 3 days later, I believe, my ex was mad enough to kill me. He was living with another woman then, and I can't say what kind of habit she had, but because she gave me some kind of strange phone calls and making threats, but he was actually mad enough to kill me about that money. But anyway, long story short, that injunction and the divorce, it held up his money for, I think, 60 days. It may have been 30 days, but it held it a long time for him to just fester and be angry. But he did have to split that money. He really did. But I'm saying this to let you know how things happen in the universe, and the birds shitting all in my face like that, and this girl saying somebody's getting ready to mess over you, and even the Lakeisha at the, I ain't gonna say the company, that company that gave me this information, because she wasn't supposed to do that. And the rest of the people that operators would say, no, we can't give you any information. But this girl quickly gave me information and said, have a nice day. But I mean, I could tell you so many stories about things, but everything works out in our favor. We just have to be able to hear. And not hear with our ears, but it's with signs and symbols that we get our information. Beaming down, or up, or wherever it come from. But we all get this information that we need to get. And we're probably already getting it. And we're not able to backtrack to the source that it's coming from. But if we would be still and be mindful of where this information is coming from, the directions and the help that we need. Boy, I tell you, oh God, I can just, I could tell you so many things. It's just amazing, because the girl that's sitting in the car with me, she's going to tell me somebody's getting ready to mess over you. She was talking about her own self, because she ended up, I have to make another video about that, but this same girl, probably a year after she tells me this, she ended up stealing 2 of my credit cards. And it's like, are you crazy? Do you think I don't know you did that? And then her and her sisters ended up breaking in my house. And it's like, I don't know. That's probably why I keep to myself most of the time now, because you can't trust people. You're going to break in my house. And the only thing they stole, the police said it was an inside job, because I was doing some field work that day, and I started to come home for lunch that day, but I didn't. But I left my purse in the bedroom that had about $400 in it. My son had about $500 cash in his bedroom. But whoever broke in the house, they knocked over bookcases and just tore up the front room to make it look like a burglar. But only thing they stole was a DVD player that I bought from a pawn shop. Now, they didn't make their way back to the bedroom, because they knew I didn't have any jewelry. But if a break-in, the first thing they go is to the bedroom. But I knew exactly who it was, because this girl had been over my house probably 2 weeks before then. And we were playing music, and she said, "Oh, I like all that music you got." And we playing music on the DVD player, and the DVD player is hard to open. It's a certain combination, but she saw how I did it, and oh man. But anyway, this girl, and I'm not going to say who else was with her, but family members can do a number on you. You have to be careful. But I stay to myself, and I just feel better by myself. But anyway, I didn't intend to get off into that, but man, I'm just going to make this video a little bit longer just to see if I can upload more than 15 minutes. And it's a lot of people that have done ugly things to me, and I've never done anything, willfully to anybody, and you know, but I guess karma or whatever. Somebody was telling me that the reason why, and they're not my friend, because I wouldn't have a friend like that for nothing in the world. But were telling me the reason why I have so many problems, MS, and all these surgeries and illnesses, is because of something that I did, sin, that I've done something. And I say, what the hell have I done for this to be payback? And I said, you know what? You don't need to call me anymore. The reason why I am ill with back injury is because of an accident at Home Depot, and because of me lifting heavy furniture and doing upholstery, heavy work most of my adult life. I used to build aircraft, and I mean just hard work. So that's the only reason I could think of. But for this person to even go on to say that I'm addicted to having surgery. Now, I could see that if I was getting, plastic surgery, but, insurance company is not going to pay for you to have a surgery that you don't need. I mean, you could say elective, and you're going to pay a lot of out of pocket, but I quit dealing with this person because that's just crazy to say I'm addicted to having surgery. But friends like that, you have to let people go. And I have let friends that I thought were friends. We have been friends for over 20 years. But no, things that you were doing, stealing money from me and stuff, I let them go. And I've learned to live alone. I have my children and my male lover, as you want to say. I don't dare say boyfriend. It sounds so ugh. But I'm too old to be having a boyfriend. But my man friend, we've been together for over 20 years, and man, we have a good time. I mean, a good time. If the doctors only knew. I remember one doctor, probably 10 years ago, he tells me, we make a enhancer for women. He said, but I know with the MS, all your sex drive is gone, so we're not going to even offer you this enhancer, but you seem to be happy without having a sex drive. I just looked, I said, how did we get to talking about sex drive? But I didn't change the subject. I just let him think that. But I remember this lady used to live next door to me. Oh, she was an older lady. I know she had to be in her 90s. And me and my friend, she lived in an apartment next to me, and the walls are thin over here. And one night, we hollered everybody's name. We were having a good time. And the next day, I said, I know she heard what we did last night. But she, instead of her, just having our regular conversation, she says, you know, I really enjoy sex. I said, what's she talking about sex for? And she said, if anything is better than sex, God kept it for himself. And I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. If you like sex, you just have sex till you can't have it no more, baby. I said, yes, ma'am. And she just went on back in her apartment. But I know she heard us that night. But it's okay. But nothing wrong with wholesome sex that doesn't have any attachment and demands on it. That's the kind of sex that I like. But I didn't intend to start talking about sex, but here it is. We talking about it. But anyway, I will get off of here. But keep having your good wholesome sex, okay? Bye.